So hi, Robert. Can you please introduce yourself and tell me what your role is at Leonardo Electronics and what you do?
Sure. So my name is Robert Walker, and I am Vice President of Sales and Marketing at Leonardo Electronics US. And essentially, my responsibilities are business development for the laser diode business here in Tucson, Arizona.
All right.
Okay.
Can you tell me what your company does and what markets you and your products touch?
Yes. So we make laser diodes. So we make laser products for a range of markets and applications. In terms of market space, we make laser diodes for advanced targeting lasers. So these are lasers that are used to identify targets for smart munitions, for example. We make products for medical applications. Lasers are used in many different applications, and we focus primarily on aesthetic laser applications, and the most prominent of those is laser hair removal. So our lasers are used to remove hair from people's bodies where they don't want hair. We make lasers for material processing, so the fabrication of materials, cutting and welding. We also make lasers for scientific applications, so very high energy lasers, petawatt class lasers. And that's kind of
Excellent.
the general market overview.
Mm-hmm. And when you say targeting at is a defense application? Is that correct?
It is. That is correct. Yes, that's for the military. Those are for military lasers.
Okay, very good. So in the scientific markets, what you mentioned petawatt class lasers.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit more what that is? Maybe
Yes.
people don't necessarily understand what a petawatt is.
So a petawatt is 10 to the 15th power watts. So it's a very high power laser source. They're pulsed, so they're basically the energy is released in a very short period of time. So we supply the pump sources for petawatt lasers. So our devices are used to convert electrical energy into optical energy that in a larger laser system is then mode converted into a better sort of beam quality, such as in the Happels laser, which is in the Czech Republic. So we supplied the pump laser diodes for the Happels laser. We supplied about it's either 5 or 6 megawatts of pump power, so millions of watts, and those are used to basically as the original or the initial light source in the Happels laser.
Mm-hmm. And that is a fairly large installation as part of a larger infrastructure system in the Eastern European region, I understand.
Yes, so that's in the Czech Republic, and why is that technology exciting? I think it's it opens up a number of a range of new applications in the medical space. Things such as non-invasive diagnosis and treatment of diseases, for example, cancer, for example. It has potential for green energy production, for laser fusion, a similar technology. So it's basically fundamental research. So it's a very interesting technology space.
Great. So it sounds like that Leonardo is active very internationally.
Yes, yes, we are. So we
And
do approximately half of our sales are international. So we export a fair amount of our products.
and all of that originates in Tucson, is manufactured in Tucson.
Yes, it's all manufactured in Tucson.
That is wonderful. So that kind of brings me to the next question. What brought you and what brought the company to Tucson? Or what, maybe even better, what keeps you in Tucson?
So those are, I'll try and answer that in one response. There's about three. I think there's three questions there. So I guess just back in when I arrived. So for those of you that remember the telecom bubble in the late 90s, that's in general what brought me to Tucson. Um, so my background is mechanical engineering, and my first engineering jobs I was involved in thermal management and microelectronic packaging solutions, and that eventually involved lasers, and the lasers were being developed for optical communications in the telecommunication industry. Um, so I was working with companies like Lucent and Nortel and STL and JDS Uniphase, and there was a company in Tucson called OptoPower. They were also actively involved in telecom, but several of the the very talented engineers and scientists from OptoPower left, and they started a new company in Tucson, and I believe they started the company in Tucson to take advantage of the the existing workforce and the talent that was being produced by the universities in of course the University of Arizona and ASU. So there's an existing talent base. I think they intended to take advantage of that. So the company I started was called LaserTel, and I was invited to join shortly after the company was started. So and my initial role was to help with the packaging of laser diode pump sources. So my personal plan was 5 years. I thought I would. So I was watching many of my my customers and colleagues going through tremendous growth and becoming wealthy very quickly. So I remember thinking that this is a 5-year plan, and we'll do similar things to what I've seen some of our customers doing. And that didn't happen. 5 years didn't. I didn't retire in 5 years. But the field is very exciting. It's very interesting. It's very fast paced, and it continues to grow. This is the laser and photonics industry. So it's a really exciting industry to be involved in, and Tucson is a fantastic place to live. So there are other places you can be involved in lasers and photonics, but I really fell in love with the climate and the environment and everything about Tucson. So I'm hoping I can stay here.
Good. And the company does well in Tucson.
Yes,
So
yes. And the company's done very well. It's grown year over year. So it's now 20 years ago the company started in the year 2000, and now it's 2021, and it's been a continuous growth story. So it's been a success.
that's great. It's great to hear. So so can you um, tell me a little bit more forward looking, um, how the products of the company, the work of the company will or might affect the future. And the future might be the future of Tucson, the future of the people in Tucson, or the people at large, the community. You can be as philosophically as inspired as you want.
So I think it's I think it's all good news. I think good news. I think there's a positive impact in all of those areas. The technology that's being produced right here in Tucson and this the Leonardo facility has the potential to improve national security. So we're working on new applications with high energy lasers for protecting our troops. Not just designating targets like a targeting laser, but damaging targets, incoming threats. So it has the potential to improve national security and our armed forces, protecting our armed forces. It has the potential to contribute to new innovative medical solutions. I mentioned a moment ago in the scientific laser space. So diagnosis and treatment of diseases is impacted by the technology that we're working on. There is also potential for green energy. So there's potential for the technology to be a part of the global effort for green energy production. And that's the critical laser technology is being developed right here. So I think that's all very exciting in terms of the future for the technology. The business has continued to grow over 20 years. I expect with these new sort of opportunities and new technology areas, it will continue to grow and attract and retain the talent that's being developed in Arizona. So I think that's great for the community. It's great for the overall industry and potentially for all of us in terms of climate, green energy, and improving the climate.
Indeed. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure.
So is there anything else that I haven't asked you that you might want to tell the community here in Tucson?
I don't think so. I don't think so, Lucas.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time.